Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Video 3 of Vacation. It's crazy. Konami's going insane right now. And what's even crazier is that this news today, the Sky Striker link, came out last night. We kind of knew that was coming though, but just with everything going on, I just chose not to make the video last night. But that means literally yesterday we got the Ashen card in the morning, a crazy ban list, and a great YCS overall. And then still later that night, we got the new Sky Striker link all revealed all in one day, which is insane. So we're covering the Sky Striker link here. There's a second little piece of news, a new core set announced. We'll mention at the end. It's not going to take too much because it's just the announcement and the name of it. There's no actual other information aside from that. But yeah, we'll just cover that at the very end of this video. So let's get into this thing. Sky Striker link. We knew this was coming. We knew it was a LINK-1. We just need to see how good it was going to be. And I can promise you it's going to be playable, but it's not on the level of the LINK-2 that we got revealed a couple weeks ago. So this is prototype Sky Striker Ace Amatsu. This is a LINK-1 dark machine. We finally have our dark LINK-1. I wonder if that means we'll ever get a light LINK-1 because we have every other attribute covered. 1500 attack, pretty standard for Sky Striker links. It points straight down, which is nice. It does open up below zones. And its materials are one Sky Striker Ace monster, pretty similar to all of the rest of them. As far as this card's, restrictions or just, OPT, qualifications here, you have, you can only special summon this card once per turn. Cool, like that. And you can only use each of this card's effects once per turn. So cool. Once per turn is nice because Sky Striker is one of the decks, oddly one of the modern decks that does not care about once per turns a lot less than other decks. But here we go for the actual effects. This is really what matters. First effect, when a monster your opponent controls with 2000 or more attack activates its effects, quick effect, you can make that effect become destroy one Sky Striker Ace Link monster your opponent controls instead. It's pretty cool. It's an interruption. It is a little bit specific on how it interrupts, but it does interrupt regardless. And so there is definitely value in this. We'll talk more about that in a sec. Second effect, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster. I like that the way this is worded. So that means whether your opponent's trying to attack you or whether you choose to be, aggressive and attack your opponent, this works. You can target one Sky Striker Ace monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Destroy them. That's actually particular wording that makes this card a little bit nicer in this deck as well. But yeah, long story short, it's a couple things I really like about this card. First, it's a LINK-1 that Ray can tag into. That's an actual interruption. Ray can already tag into the new LINK-2 and make it an interruption, but I think this one's nice because you may have already been in the LINK-2, used the LINK-2 to use the second effect, summon Ray and Rose, and pop a card, which means going back into that LINK-2 doesn't really do anything for you. So this gives you an additional link, or even just a LINK-1, that allows you to tag into another interruption, which can be nice. I know it's only, an interruption for 2000 or higher attack point monsters, but there's actually a lot of those, right? You can stop Duo Drive from activating. You can stop... you know what I mean? Like there's just going to be cards like that in every archetype. You can hit White Binder from setting a card from deck or whatever. You can just hit... There's going to be something in most decks out there that you're going to be able to hit with this, which is still decent. And so when you get Ray back off of the LINK-2, it can go into that, or even having linkage on your opponent's turn. If you've already used the LINK-2, this is another target to be able to get you some kind of bonus interruption off of those cards, whereas otherwise they're acting as more follow-up cards without a card like this existing. So that's nice utility there. Second thing, the first effect, because of the way it's worded, you are not popping your own cards. You are making it so your opponent's card is popping your Sky Striker Ace monster. So triggers Ray, which is really nice. So you'd be able to, even if you didn't use the LINK-2 yet and you only just hard made this off of Ray, potentially, you would be able to use this effect, make your opponent pop this card, Ray comes back, now Ray can tag into the LINK-2, and the LINK-2 can either search you follow-up or go into another Ray or Rose to pop a card again, and just keep going from there. So just really good rotational synergy here. Ray is such an annoying card. It is going to be very interesting how good Bestials and stuff are in this format when this deck comes out, because you're going to need to keep Ray out of the graveyard as much as possible, because that card is a problem. Sorry to the Kaina fans out there. I'm pretty certain this card just creeps Kaina out of playable. It is what it is. All Kaina does is keep a monster from attacking. This card actually gives you like active removal on a card when it's attacked, and I just think it's straight up better. Overall, there could be more scenario. There could be slightly more scenarios where Kaina is allowing you to survive like a battle phase and make it to next turn slightly better than this card. But I think the fact that like the second effect is arguably just better on this card than Kaina already is, because you can be a little more offensive with it and stuff like that. And not even taking into account the first effect on this card, it makes it hard. It's going to make it hard for me to like agree with somebody that Kaina is better than this card, really, in many ways. It feels like this card's probably just going to replace it in the extra deck. Depending on how much space, again, I don't know, but this is a heavy Link-1 deck. You are going Link-1 from this into this into this. You're going Hayate into Kagari into Shizuku. You're probably making the Link-2 at some point. Like, you know what I mean? You're running through a lot of stuff. You only have so many slots. You got to make sure they're usable. They're the most important slots, and I'm not sure Kaina will make the cut now, but we'll see. And the last thing, the way the second effect is worded as well, it leads to some real Sky Striker ass shenanigans. There's a lot of cards in Sky Striker that, like, the way they're worded make them seem like they do one thing, but Sky Striker can just work around them in a lot of ways. Like Ray just tagging into any Link-1 and still making them work, and Linkage being able to cheat out any link and make it still work. Actually, Ray can tag into the Link-2 as well now. But there's just effects where you work around stuff. So the way the second effect is worded, where it says target a Sky Striker Ace monster you control and a card your opponent controls, destroy them. That means when you have a card like Linkage available, and you can like activate this effect in battle phase when you attack, and then send your prototype Amatsu to grave to then summon another Link-1 out, you still get to pop your opponent's card. And now you're just into another card that's probably getting you more resources, and you're going from there. So you have ways to work around this. There will be cases where you do just have to pop your own card, and that stinks, but you would want to do that in a situation where you have something to keep doing at the end of that, but you just needed the removal. All in all, it's a good card, man. Just is. I know it's not like this crazy engine card, and it's not even a crazy interruptive card, but I think it's just good enough at both that it's just a good utility card for such a low cost. That's really what it comes down to for me, is that the cost for this card is so low, right? It's so easy to get. It's, you know, it's a decent little, it's kind of like a little a monster negate on field, and then on top of that, it scares your opponent from the battle phase a little bit as well. So that's icing on the cake there. Good card. It's definitely going to find a spot in the deck. It's probably just a one-of, but still, we'll take it. As far as the other news goes, announcement on a new core set called Doom of Dimensions. This is coming after Duelist Advance. There's not too much going on here. Based on the name, though, we haven't gotten in a while a core set since, like, I would say probably Rise of the Abyss, or Rage of the Abyss. Can't remember which one, because there's the old one, there's the new one. The one that had sharks, we kind of knew as soon as we heard the name, we knew that it was going to be sharks. And then prior to that, the Exodia one, Infinite Forbidden, earlier last year. So it's like we have a couple that like you can't really get anything out of, and then like you get one where you're like, oh yeah, this one could be one of those. This could just be screaming DDD support. I know there's a lot of DDD fans. I know the support from a couple years ago was decent, but it got power crept pretty quickly. So, but I think they're still in like a decent position to get support and not need like crazy buffs, but just like enough, and they could be relevant again. But this seems pretty DDD-esque, right? Because doesn't DDD stand for Different Dimension Daemon? I think is what it stands for. And so, yeah, that they seem to fit the naming mold the most. Now, Doom of Dimensions is like still kind of a little bit generic, so it could just end up being insert your favorite dark antagonist from Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're just going to give them support. But I do think DDD has like the most going for it there as far as matching the naming scheme. So they're definitely the favorite in the clubhouse, if you will, to win that and end up getting that cover support. As far as anything else that's worth mentioning, they do state in the release of the set saying there's going to be new archetypes, support for older archetypes. That's in almost every core set, so that doesn't really tell us anything. But they also mention there's going to be more support for archetypes in the Chronicles, their most recent anime short, drop that they're doing. I don't expect more Sky Striker support. I expect them to move on from Sky Striker. The support they just got with just 3 cards is plenty strong enough. I actually hope there's no more Sky Striker cards, because then I'd be really worried that deck's going to get way too good, way too fast. But other than that, I do expect them to move on to like Dogmatica, because I think Ecclesia and Dogmatica is supposed to be the next like archetype or theme up. Could it include a little bit of Albaz stuff or some of the other stuff included in the Dogmatica Albaz lore? I don't know for sure, but it seems like Dogmatica is the cover like artwork, like Ecclesia and stuff. So I would think it's going to be more Dogmatica focused, at least for this set. So keep that in mind. Put that in the back of your head. That won't be for another 2.5, 3 months, until we're about the time where we were 2 weeks ago when the Sky Striker cards came out, I would guess. But keep it in the front of your mind. If you're a big Dogmatica fan, we could get some really cool stuff. And with how good this Sky Striker support ended up being, kind of opens the door for us to believe that all of these archetypes that are going to be in the Chronicles could get legit strong support. So let's stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's it. Just throwing in a little bit of stuff at the end there, but feel pretty good about it. Let me know your thoughts down below on both things. Where do you land on Sky Striker post all 3 cards here, assuming this is everything they're getting going forward? Let me know your thoughts on just the Sky Striker card in a vacuum, like, you know what I mean? Just like, what do you think about this card, not just all of Sky Striker, as well as where do you land on Doom of Dimensions? Or would you be happy with DDD support? Is there another archetype you think makes sense there with the naming scheme? And even the Ecclesia stuff, or the Dogmatica stuff. Let me know how you'd feel about all that. So I'm out of here for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.